It's been a great day, but I feel I need to read a poem it's a poem of the legacy of unacceptable deaths. It's called Cortage. Let fall the trees needed to craft them, hardwood, conifer. Craft them well, and let most be laid end to end from near and far on their way to the gates of the White House. Not directly, as rest assured there will be enough to detour across each executive fairway. Let some be barged down the Potomac, lazily, sun on polished wood, light fingering each name. Let few, even if they crush the blossoms, be airlifted into the rose garden, choppers low, over the vulnerable, as if in wartime. Let them replace the metro. Let them be caissoned down Pennsylvania Avenue, each tagged with a starred and striped price tag to display the true cost of dying for your economy. Let Mnuchin explain the law of supply and demand. Let them be carefully stacked, however long it takes, about that house, no matter how high, no matter that the light will no longer enter. Let them be the perfect wall, the perfect memorial. And I want to read a poem, not of my own. It's a poem by W.S. Merwin called For the Anniversary of My Death. I had an old friend who passed away in the last couple of months, and this is for him. For the anniversary of my death. Every year without knowing it, I have passed the day when the last fires will wave to me and the silence will set out, tireless traveler, like the beam of a lightless star. Then I will no longer find myself in life as in a strange garment, surprised at the earth and the love of one woman and the shamelessness of men. As today, writing after 3 days of rain, hearing the wren sing and the falling cease, and bowing, not knowing to what. Excuse me. My wife, Giselle, used to work as a itinerant hearing therapist for the Philadelphia School District. So she drove from school to school in North Philly. So this poem is based on something she experienced. It's called Coming to Rest. On the way to work, Giselle's brakes have gone bad, so she rides in the cab with the tow truck driver, who, as they're passing the high school, asks her if she knows that it was Edison that lost the most students in Vietnam. Says, after she replies yes, that he shot a pregnant woman there, that coming home was rough, that he took a bullet for a friend. 40 years later, he hauls heavy metal around North Philly. Giselle surely has counseled the children, the grandchildren of some of the dead. The bones of mother and near child rest in Southeast Asia in the delta where the Mekong meets the sea, bound to the curve of the world. Some things vanish too quickly, some linger too long, and so much in between. Brakes give out or don't. Sometimes there seems to be too much for which to cry. All bullets should be allowed to come to rest, all scales tossed into a heap. We like to think Judgment Day is in the future, but it isn't. I'm going to read a poem that was published a bunch of years ago in Apiary magazine. This is for my daughter. It's called, her name isn't Domino, but that's the name of the poem. And the reason there are some references in a few words in Spanish, a reference to Cubans, is because my wife was born in Cuba. Domino. Past the train station, I walked the slope of the sink where a creek must run beneath, where above night just shadow puddles, water, night, speaker and listener. See, Mariah, it's not even 8 a.m. and I've parsed, however mundanely, this portion of neighborhood into its parts, laid them together as if starting a game of dominoes, light spattered upon dark, day, night, end to end. As I said, while music thumps like blood, I walk. To you, I say, the heart is just the beginning. To you, I say, take care because I know you will be taking your chances. I say, take chances, and that advice is cheap. We might laugh at that. Speaker, listener, ditch that template. We cannot plan this ahead, but laughing together is the best. Cannot print our own money, but we can place old Cubans at a table beneath the eaves of this train station, can allow them cigars, tumblers of water, espresso-filled demi-tasse club cups, can let them lounge as long as a thought. Cafe, sangre, musica, home. You have one. You will make one. The boneyard awaits us all. But till then, music, carry me, carry you. I will tap my feet. I will make my play. For those of you who aren't familiar with Philadelphia, I live in the northwestern part of the city, and one of the landmarks of the northwestern part of Philadelphia is Wissahickon Creek and the park that surrounds it. Steep woods leading down to the creek. And one of the streets that goes down there is called Kitchen Lane. So this is called Kitchen Lane. Mid-creek, at one end of wide, slow curve, brown dog with lime green disc in its jaws. The way we sometimes feel we're being retrieved over and over, gently, by something with sharp edges. How we feel something bigger may be at work here. How we might see mind as creek. What creek says, may be at play too. I say, whatever, smallness, bigness, for now I bring you this, drop it at your feet. Pick it up, toss it, Watch me run. A few years ago, we were on a vacation in Vermont near Montpelier, and we went into a bookstore. It's a great little town, by the way. Great bookstore, great public library. But I got a photography book called The 60s. I'm having a senior moment because I can't remember the name of the photographer. He's a well-known photographer. Black and white photos. And he went to Saigon during the war. And Richard Avedon, excuse me. He went to Saigon during the war and took a whole bunch of pictures. He set up a studio. And one of those photographs was in the book, and I was my daughter, who was in high school at that time, and her good friend were along with us. And well, in the poem, I will mention what I told them about this photograph. The poem is called "The Gulf," and it's in 4 parts. 1, not that you or I have been waiting for or anticipating, or certainly wanting to see it. We've finally gotten to the photo, black and white, in which form trumps our usual color menu, trumps right down to the portrait, and it is a portrait, of the napalm mutilated Vietnamese woman. Sculpted by napalm might be deemed too crude, cold, inappropriate, but that's how much of a mutilation can be assumed. Who knows how leathery her skin already was from the elements, but we do know that the low-flying jets introduced an if not new, then intensified one. 2, in his Poetry at the Edges essay, Practice Journey, Albert Goldbarth bemoans a finger-wagging lack of sense of history, big and small. See, the thing is, we don't learn from history, barely even acknowledge it. This unnamed woman is a portal to, from, and through. After the trip to Montpelier, buying of the 60s, before the out on vacation house deck dinner, all of us having looked, I come as close as ever to lecturing. All caps and boldface, 19-year-old daughter and her BFF Anna, that this picture captures the outrage at horror, reality of that war. Now, sitting at the keys, I want to iterate. If the finishing part of the saying is, and don't believe half of what you see, then this is the half you can believe. 3, white drape, backdropped, dressed in black, shot from hips up. She is sideshow worthy, man-made division. It is said that in black and white, the eye is drawn to the lightest area. Here, despite it being an even gray, her blind one is what draws mine. The ball, as firm as gelatin, can get to being firm, or maybe it's simply a fused lid. Her nose looks, though we know it took but moments, as if it's been eroded for years. The left side face skin tugged down, her mouth drawn in, as if something inside between seed teeth pulls at it. Purse stitch mouth. Her hair, wind-stirred smoke, How can I say her features look terrain-like, or as a swirling gulf of Tonkin storm radared from above? Decades gone, but still present. 4. After the unmeasured duration of a while, my eye drifts to her one good eye, clear, direct into the camera, lens to lens. And she is here in a Saigon studio, letting this happen. The clear eye. Who knows if, since the change, she smiled, can smile. I do know this, that I want to say, not as a balance. If anything, this photograph is a documentation of imbalance. I want to say, despite knowledge of illness, cruelty, the guerrilla war of ache, the things that can eat away at us, that, at least in black and white, the body strives towards survival. If we refrain from speeches, just look, stay silent, maybe we can hear it forming. I'm going to finish with a poem. Don't get scared. It's in 21 parts, very short parts. And it mentions the word mitzvah, which, for those who may not know, is the Hebrew word for good deed. And I start at 21 and work down to 1. 21. If I didn't say, I'm not sure I said the title, Raking the Leaves. 21. North of my city, headed north from car speakers, Roy Acuff's fevered Old Testament righteousness. I heard the wreck on the highway, but I didn't hear nobody pray. 20. A mile, my father said, from home to firehouse. A mile. 19. In that town, Halloween decorations up for weeks before. I mean, how long can a person remain scared? Along roadsides, despite their alertness, despite the most graceful of lives, dear and clumsy poses. 18. How long? A voice replies. You don't want to know. 17. Fever cure. Stick to the 2 lanes, follow reservoir shorelines. Imagine while bagging the trash, Yo-Yo Ma humming Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Replace the names of the saints with those of blues musicians. 16. In that city, on an operating room table, a young addict, frantic, hobgoblins working within her about to be born, already crying out for help. 15. Saint Jerome, 4th century. Although God can do all things, he cannot raise up a virgin after she has fallen. 14. How leaves fall, then from beneath, smell of dampness like a tallying up of the year. How they return. 13. I say, Jerome, either he can or he can't. 12. Amid steep hillsides at narrow river bridge, paying for the car behind no longer allowed. In my hometown, no more the burning of leaves. 11. Is that what I'm up to? 11. Graveside. A rabbi says the last mitzvah for someone is to bury them well. A difficult deed done kindly. The Buddha says, every leaf a truth. Luther Allison sings, give me back my wig, and honey, let your head go bald. 10. I am bewildered by those who are so certain, am always struck despite grief. Excuse me. by the depth of an open grave. The devil in the details, a devil just another angel gone rogue. 9. Eventually someone predicting the end of the world will be right. About the hillside trees, fallen leaves, bright as heaven's linoleum. 8. In that operating room, intubation, general anesthesia, speed of the essence. The next to the last mitzvah, to breathe for someone. 7. I say she raises herself up. I say autumn, a window of opportunity. I say light one leaf, then use that one to light the next as if chain smoking into eternity. 6. That breakdown. Lester flat guitar, Earl Scruggs banjo, the pickers. I say, praise them all. I say, better, each leaf a poem. 5. Coco Taylor. You can have my husband, but please don't mess with my man. 4. I say, Jerome, lay down your quill, touch a woman, touch a man, fall together. I say, Acuff, chill, wander the great gray city of autumn, imagine a cello within each trunk. I say, unsurprising sadness, sadness still the same. 3. I say, the scripture of autumn, to acknowledge the falling. I say, a sadness if we could not fill, even if we stayed all day shoveling. 2. My father, home again, jiggity jog. Champion Jack Dupree, stick out your can. Here comes the garbage man. 1. Yes, someday this world will be gone, but for now, let's rake a mile straight, let's say, through the leaves, an aisle wide enough so, if need be, we might pass ourselves coming the other way. Thank you.